Have you been feeling a lack of sense of being at home since you've come to Earth School to Rome? Or perhaps you're always in this state of seeking a place of grace that you never quite find. My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and I created Rare Bird Medicine for rare birds like you and I that may be having a very unique or distinct experience that can be challenging in the paradigm. You can play Find My Way Back Home by the fine musical stylings of Monophonics, or Coming Home Baby by Mel Torme if you want a little soundtrack to go along with some dope songs this day. I have two words that I deeply value, and they are precious to me, and the words are family and home. Heather has a Cancer cusping moon and a Cancer Mars, which means that I feel a lot of heart around topics like family and home, and feel a lot of heart around and behavior. I behave as a little mother hen sometimes. Sometimes I'm always looking for that nest. And it is not something for a long time that I thought that I would ever be blessed with. You know, I lost my mother to a car accident at the age of 24. I lost my father to a drowning accident at the age of 17 months, pre-verbal baby. And that means that I entered Earth School before I could even take up language to understand this realm, with a rupture in the foundation of the home that was at the helm for me. And it ruptured again before my 25th birthday when Mom was taken. And both of my siblings have had the grace of creating an extension of family beyond the self from that family unit we come in with. But Heather Feather has not done that. Heather Feather does not have any children, has never had any, does not have a partner or a mate, is not dating. And, you know, home is a place that I feel like I have been looking for since I got to Earth School. The tricky thing is that home is actually the place we were before we got here, and we are there while we are here. And the thing is, we are at home. And so for me, home has always meant I can be old school in certain ways. I'm very monogamous and loyal. I desire to have a life mate. I believe it is my destiny to love and be loved on all levels with somebody that's equally yoked to me. And even when I look at my numerology, if you start investigating the self, you know, you can look at your numerology, you can look at your astrology. There are a lot of different things that have been present that can articulate things about your story. And Heather started researching all of that at the age of 13, and now at the age of 50, I'm very well familiar. I am in a 7 pinnacle cycle numerologically, and at the age of 52, I will move into a 6 pinnacle cycle, which is the number of family, which is the number of home. So I will remove myself from this long journey I've been on in this pinnacle numerological cycle of 7 of trust and openness, dealing with betrayals, dealing with misuse of energies, dealing with when we should trust, and move into a community of like minds that are equally yoked, move into a partnership or divine union. And so as I'm moving through the age of 50 to 52, I'm shaking closer into the frequencies that open me to the energies of finding that nest that this rare bird has wanted to rest her weary legs in for some time, to just enjoy the grace and the glory of loving another that is sovereign, and loving a community of sovereign beings that are unique and distinct in their offerings. And I've been gathering for 5 decades a community of wonderful beings that I hope to have with me at the mystical, magical college of medicine and healing that will be known as Rare Bird Medicine College. I have for a long time, one of the tarot decks I use is called the Golden Tarot. It has the sun on one side and not on the other. And for ages, for a long, long time, and when I shuffle this deck and I feel that the beloved, or the one that will be in my nest, needs aid, I shuffle the deck so that there's a beneficent card back of this king and the sun is on his head. And every time I do that, I send a blessing to the beloved, and I let them know. I've been doing this for many, many years. I send you light, I send you love, I send you grace, I send you allies, I send you peace, I send you bounty if you face darkness on your way to finding me, knee to knee, toe to toe, eye to eye, one day. And I have prayed many prayers over the beloved before they have arrived. And here I am at 50, and they're still not in front of my eyes. And so I have been on this circular journey of awakening to the reality that it's the true Ouroboros, when we eat the tail of the wholeness of completion, of coming to understand the cycles and circles of life, one of the foundational core ones I have found to be true, to aid me to have grace and peace with the strife of feeling homeless in a strange land, is to recognize that I was home all along. It's actually my getting mired in the physical world, getting mired in what does not and does show up, getting attached to what it looks like, getting consumed with the concept that it could be this. Oh, maybe I know. You know, it's like, well, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe there is a far greater tale waiting to be told through the story that is you. And perhaps that tale is connected to something that is eternal, that is full of grace, that is full of bounty, that is connected to the all, and therefore available to offer any and all needs. But in order to allow that grand storyteller, the storyteller called the Spirit, to take over the story, we get to surrender the earthly story. Heather has had an earthly story for a long time. And I think it did start when I was receiving my mother's milk at 17 months old, and my father drowned in the Brazos River and his body was never found. And I was then receiving my mother's milk in her state of grief at loss of the beloved. There is this story that's been in me for a long time. Even in plant medicine, bufo and bufo and ayahuasca have both shown me, have given me the grace of getting to witness the pain of the goddess Isis losing Osiris and the betrayal, and then also applying forgiveness to Set for that betrayal. The spirit of these medicines have let me walk in those shoes of losing the beloved, which is how my journey began here at Earth School as my mother lost her beloved. And so they've let me really take a deep look at what it means when we believe that we can lose the grace of the place that gives us the most peace and ease and acceptance for all that we be. And we cannot loosen ourselves from this thing. And that's the thing I'm learning. It's like I've written the Lionsgate Portal class, which begins in August. It's a 5-week class for $55.50. We have 7 students signed up. My aim is usually 12. I like to have 12 students in the class. And the other day I was at the mountain and I was like, well, I really would like to have 12 students in this class. We have 7 now. I think that's a really good gathering. And then was realizing, again, just like relationships, I'm trying to dictate the outpicturing of what my work will look like right now. The truth is, Heather Feather is writing this class as she channels spirit and delivers it from spirit to these beautiful souls and teachers and equally yoked like minds that are unique in the paradigm like me, that have come to enjoy some of that rare bird Heather Feather energy. And I might receive their teachings and their offerings, which is always a bountiful grace to me. But it is being done through me by divinity, where I am eternal and I am always at home. I and the Father are one, as above, so below. There is union and communion with spiritual. And there's, Heather will say again, tremendous amount of burden of proof regarding that if one seeks but to investigate the topic at hand here today. I'm asking you how often you allow yourself to be at home with spirit and to trust that spirit is delivering. One of the things I've received in my spiritual studies and teachings is that it's to have gnosis, to have truth, to have knowledge. Know that when you have asked, you have received. And Heather Feather has been asking her entire life to be at home. And I am at home in the spirit of divine, eternal love. I am forever at home in it. I cannot escape from it. It is my resting place. It is my grace. It is my bounty. It is everything. And so what amount do I, Heather Feather, need to be involved with her ego label system in making my life happen? And what amount does it serve for me to surrender and trust and accept that because I have asked, everything that arrives is the perfect holy grace for me to align into the evolved state of the enlight I'm meant to be in this life? Can I allow spirit to run the design? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. Like and comment there. Heather Feather always loves your thoughts. Amun.